So you got to fix a hole in the wall. Well, I should have did a before shot, but you know, it could be this example. It could be any example. It could be an accident. It could be had way too much to drink, fell against the wall, whatever. You could have had a big party and whatever. You know what I'm saying. Some horseplay, play fighting, whatever, and you hit a wall. And or whatever, you bought a house. When you bought it, it was nice, and then when you got there, they took their furniture and there's holes in the wall. Whatever the case is. It could have been some magical fairies, you know, just came and wrecked your house while you're gone, sleeping, at work, whatever. But anyways, your dog wanted to get from this room to that room because he was trying to protect the food of the house, or want to sample the food of the house. Anyways, whatever the case may be, so you got a hole here, let's say, so you cut it, square it off the best you can, and then carry on to the next step. So next, you want to find yourself a stick, whether you want to carve it nice and square, or cheat and go to the hardware store and get yourself a nice 2x4. But you know what I mean, you just want to find a stick of some sort. So either get a sharp knife and whittle something nice and neat like that, or cheat and go to the hardware store and get yourself a nice 2x4 that's been nicely planed and all that stuff. Find something. And then, yeah, so then you just want to measure it off. The wall was between 2x4s is about almost 13 inches. So we'll make it about 12. It doesn't have to be perfect. You can hide it. I mean, if it is a used 2x4, you can use that too, because at the end of the day, you're going to hide it. But for the ones that want to make everything perfect, you can have a nice piece like this that's all planed, and try your best to patch up this hole that somehow, mysteriously, no questions asked, got there. So, if you got to hurry up and get the house fixed before the boss of the household comes back, hurry up. You can get her done. So if you want to hurry up before the boss gets back, hurry up and watch this video, and then next thing you know, you can fix your wall, get yourself out of the dilemma, and then go back to doing something else. But behave. Sorry about the bad lighting. But anyways, you can use a nice chop saw, whatever you want to call it. Miter box, yada yada yada, whatever you want to call it, you can use it. If you don't have this, you can use a skill saw, hand saw, heck, if you gotta use an axe, use an axe. Just get the job done, because you gotta fix this hole before the boss of the household comes home. So now just be careful so you don't put the screw right through it. And that'll work. If you do put the screw, sink it too deep, no big deal. Just put a little bit of mud and get rid of it. Make sure it's tight. Make sure the board's not loose. If it is loose, then you know, maybe you did something like that. And if you do sink it too deep, no big deal. Just put some mud. You'll get it fixed up. And now to the next. So here, nice and lucky, there's a double 2x4. So there you go, you got lots of the screw too. This side, it's not bad, and it gets a little wonky, but that's okay, we'll work around that. And then at the bottom, we got that 2x4 silver golden. So there you go. Now you got the good foundation to getting this wall patched up. So from the bottom to the top, got 40 inches. Same on both sides, so I got gold star there. But unfortunately, here's a little wonky, like I said. So what you can do, you can get all fancy and keep measuring all your points across, or you can take an easy way, or maybe the hard way. You just got to do what works for you. Here it's a little over 16 inches. Here it's 16 and a quarter, I believe. Then it gets down to like 16. So I'm just gonna kind of cut it about 16-ish, and then that way we'll just let the mud do the rest of the work. It'll be rough, but it works for me. Might not work for you, but if you want to cut it all perfect, just do all your measurements and get it. So that's one way you can do it. There's lots of other ways, but do what works for you. Nice and simple, quick and easy. Wham bam, done. So what you gotta do, I'm just gonna kind of mock it as I'm trying to run the camera. Go back to where it's loose, and then just kind of run your knife down there and kind of shave it. And basically from here down it's a little tight, so we'll do that a couple times, and then voila, it'll fit. Or if you have to, just pull the piece of drywall a little bit away and then just mark it, and then you can shave it down like that and get it to where you need it, and try to run a camera and then try to text and do all that stuff. There you go. So multitasking will get her done. So now from 100 feet back it looks great. So now we'll just put some screws in and then mud it, tape it off, all that good stuff, sand it, paint it, done. And then you're almost home free here, so we better hurry along and guide you through patching up this hole so you can sit on the couch and act like you didn't do anything, or earn brownie points or whatever your situation may be. No questions asked. So thanks for watching this far. Let's carry on. And for this part, you got to make sure you got a lot of the good old-fashioned screws, the old-fashioned kind. So there you go, nice drywall screws like so, and you just run your screws around where you know the wood is. If you don't hit something, no biggie, you can back it out. If you can't, just fish it out. You'll get it back out of there. If it's gone to no man's land, don't worry about it, don't sweat it. That's what putty's for. Hide all the evil, make it perfect. So there you go. I'm Cheap Charlie, and thanks for watching. Let's run some screws together, just in case you don't know how. Or, to clarify, these kind. Alright. And you might as well put a couple screws on this side just in case. Well, stay tuned. Now we'll carry on to continue the process of making it look worse, I mean better, and then go from there. Well, we better get back on this job here. So we got to get this, you can tape it with your traditional paper, or if you have to, you can use that. Some mesh tape, whatever you want to call it. We just got to get this mudded up and fix our little bit of mishap or whatever. No questions asked as before. So let's carry on and get her done. The damp cloth just to get any dust off, just to have a nice clean surface. So before you put on the drywalling tape, you want to make sure you wipe it down so you don't have any dust. So yeah, you can use your traditional paper taping to get the job done. I'm just using the mesh stuff because I have that nice and handy, so that I don't have to drive 500 miles to go get another roll of drywall taping. Not about what I like to use, it's just about getting this job done nice and quick and easy, and end result, patch the wall. That's all we got to do. So anyways, we lucked out. So yeah, you just kind of hold it on there. It's hard to film. You kind of hold it, and that way you got it stuck on, and then just kind of roll it out. One hand on that, on the surface that you're trying to apply, and then you just roll it out with the other hand. But anyways, I did this ahead because I'm trying to videotape and
get this done. So anyways, we're going to lock out. There's going to be enough mesh, I do believe, on this roll. So now we got it all the way around, like so, to help the healing process of this wall, or fixing, whatever you want to call it. My bad. We're getting her done. So there we go. So that's how much is left on the roll. Look at that. That's awesome. That's been hanging around for probably about 12 years. So it's nice to use it up, and then that way, you know, keeps the clutter down to very minimal. Nothing to see. Anyways, as they watch, make me kind of nervous. And anyways, let's carry on. So you just kind of want to apply it like so. We're just going to do a light coat, but kind of heavy, I guess, just to get the kind of apply it. And that way we're guaranteed the mesh is going to stay now. That's all I'm worried about right now. Just to kind of begin the mending process of the hole. You want to make sure everything's nice and clean. If there's any dried crap on there from before, then it's just gonna be a hindrance on getting it done. Everybody's gonna have a little different process, but generally you get the same results. Sometimes you can do it quicker, one step, than the next guy, but you just gotta take everybody's ideas and put it together and make it work for yourself. That's all the main thing is. Yes, you can go to the hardware store and buy nice fancy kits. On this side, yeah, it's got some dried crap on there from previous projects. But on the side that I'm applying it, it's nice and clean. You know, I'm just taking the mud right out of the pail, but I don't want to put the mud back in. Once it's out, I want to use it, just in case crap gets in there of any sort. But anyways, it's just gonna get it yeah, you know, sometimes you can start in the middle and then just kind of go like that, and then once you get going down, you don't have to worry about it. You should have done that the first time, but I just did the top to bottom method because I was pretty confident the tape wasn't going to move. But yeah, you can go to the hardware stores and buy nice fancy kits to just clip in your drywall from the old drywall and then screw your new drywall together, but whatever tickles your fancy. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. You just want to get some mud on and get a piece of drywall on, and you know, sometimes if you thought the drywall was thicker, or you got the wrong piece of drywall because you asked for the wrong piece at the hardware store, or if they gave you the wrong piece, it doesn't matter. You can always add some more mud on. I mean, in most cases you can make it work. It just might be a little bit more work than what the next guy would have done. There's always an easier way, but sometimes it's just the way it works. But yeah, you just kind of want it. And if you had too much mud on this time, you can always spend a few more minutes sanding. Personally, I don't want to sand any more than I have to, but you just kind of want to, you know, do some pride and make it look like you tried to give a damn. Want to clean some of that crap off. I'm not too worried right now about how wide it is. But just trying to keep it narrow. Anyways, a little messy, but there we go. Well, this is Cheap Charlie. It's time for another beer. I'll talk to you later. And you know, you'll know when it's dry, but right now it's kind of got that gray color to it. Soon enough it'll look kind of nice and white like that. I like to give it a good timeline to dry, so then that way you're not, you know, so that way the mud's nice and dry. I mean, you can rush it, but you know, you don't want to rush it because then you might compromise your results. But suit yourself. But anyways, we'll let that dry nice. Probably give it a good 12 hours, and then that way it's guaranteed dry. And then just slowly but surely get this process done so you got maximum result, and try to increase your talents on wall repair. So there's not much mud on it, but that's okay. We'll just give it a quick light sand. Kind of like so, and that's about it. So yeah, quick sand like that, and then it's ready for another layer. And let's just keep moving along. So we gave everything a quick sand. This time I'm going to apply a little bit thicker layer on. And now we're off to the races. Well, got another thin layer on of mud. So now we'll just go around and get everything smoothed out. So what you want to do is keep this side nice and tight. And then this side we'll just let it kind of float. We're using about a 5-inch trowel. It's going to need lots more mud, but I'm just avoiding sanding a whole lot of, just trying to keep it nice and simple. So now we'll just keep this side nice and tight, and then let it kind of build up there in the middle. Now I just want to step it up to something wider. Do the same thing again. Just keep it tight to the right. And then in the middle it can kind of build up the mud. It is going to need more layers. At least we're getting there. So to the top we'll be keeping it loose, and then in the middle let it build up a bit. Next time we'll have to take that plug off so we can get it spread out more. And we're getting around. So basically all you want to do is you want to get it tight to there and then let it build up there. And then on here let it go tight, and then up there go loose. Yeah, that's kind of a crappy job for sure. But anyways, let's give her another go. It also needs a little bit of mud. Up here there's a little bit of old crap you just got to watch from previous paint jobs. But patience and you'll get it perfect. I could put on a little bit more mud at each pass, but I just given it a quick sand in between each time. That's usually how I like to do it. But anyways, next time we'll wet sand it nice and easy. And have yourself some extra clean water close by, and in circular motions you just want to go over everything. I'm going to wet sand it with this sponge, and that's all you got to do. A really nice advantage about wet sanding, you keep all the dust down, so that's a really nice feature. And then let's just carry on and get this job done. You just want a damp sponge, and then yeah, just start where you want and do some circular motions. You kind of want to stay off of the new drywall. Oop, I got too much water. But anyways, you want to try to stay off the new drywall the best you can, as you don't want to get the new drywall soaked, as the paper is exposed right now. But you know, it will tolerate a little bit of water. It's just you don't want to completely submerge it in water, and then the paper will start breaking down, getting wet, and then causing other future problems for your project. But anyways, but there you go. You just got to do your circular motions. Try to stay off the paper. It's not fine china. It can take a little bit of water, but and you want to stay away from your plug. We got it, the hydro turned off for that plug, so no big deal if it did get wet. But so there you go. I do have that one spot there, but there, that's your wet sanding stage. Now we'll give another thin coat of mud, and it should be pretty much ready for paint. And we got the inspector. Hey, does it pass? Yeah, whatever. So we just got to get a nice thin layer on there. We'll use something a little wider this time, and we'll better get that little bit of crap off, and then that way it keeps everything nice and nice. So well, there we go. Perfect. Well, it's always good to keep a cloth there and keep this nice and clean. Well, it's getting close. But yeah, a little more sanding. We'll get her. just gotta let the sandpaper do the work. And do your long sanding. And things will come together. So about 15 minutes later, maybe 5 minutes. But anyways, it's all sanded. And just a little thin coat up there. So it's basically almost done. It does take patience. But if you need a quick job, you can, but you don't want to compromise quality. But if you're, in all seriousness, wall got damaged, had a little bit of a party, whatever, doesn't matter. You can fix it. And here, have the luxury, at the end of the day, seriousness, is there's a piece of furniture here, from here over. So it doesn't really matter, but at the same point, it's nice to do it up nice. And then that way you know that there's no big holes in the wall and things look nice. So, if you had a party and you're patching a hole, it's an odd spot to have a picture at waist height, but you can do it. You just keep mudding and patiently sand and just let the sandpaper do its work, and things will come together. Getting down to the nitty-gritty of getting this done. Perfect. Time for paint. That didn't take long at all. So there's that patch. So right in the bottom is some of the base that they started out with before they start mixing in the colors for the paint. So that happens, eh? So it looks not bad. That's pretty lucky. So that patch there looks pretty good. And all that hard work just to put a dresser there. But anyways, whatever your scenario is, gotta be patient. But there you go. Thanks for watching. Hope this helps you. I'm not a professional by any means. But anyways, I think that's pretty lucky right there to have that last little bit of paint, to have the mixing imperfection. You can't complain. At the end of the day, it looks pretty good. And let's see how it dries. Cheers. Well, it turned out everything's fine. Disaster averted. Good thing we've seen that little bit of improperly mixed paint in the bottom of the can. So it looks pretty reasonable. And anyways, we'll carry on with the project. Well, all that hard work paid off. All that time has paid off, as it showcases this dresser nicely. Anyways, all seriousness, it just takes a lot of patience, but I did it. You can do it too. Look how good the paintwork looks, and all that mudding looks great. Yes, now we have some added features here. We got a closet here to the right, but anyways, yep, things look good. Thanks for watching the video. Give a thumbs up. Cheers.